What's going on, everybody? Marvel the Cross 316 back with another comic book flashback. Today we are looking at the Amazing Spider-Man issue number 68. This issue came out in January of 1969, and as we look on the cover today, we have Spider-Man swinging across ESU. And what the heck is going on with all of this, rioting here, all of this protesting? What's going on? There's a protest on campus. What's going on? So we're going to look at all this as we look at the title is Crisis on the Campus. And we also have a very familiar supervillain, which is the Kingpin. The Kingpin is going to be involved in all this. So how is the Kingpin involved in this? We're going to find all this out. So let's go ahead and get started. As always, this is brought to you by Stan the Man Lee, who wrote this issue. We also have John Romita doing the artwork. We have Jim Madmoon Mooney doing the illustrations, and we also have Sam Rosen on the lettering page. So let's go ahead and start the issue here. And the one thing we need to focus on here is there is a petrified clay tablet, and this clay tablet is as valuable as the Dead Sea Scrolls that were discovered in 1948. And so this clay tablet holds a lot of secrets. And if one person can discover these secrets, it would be none other than Kingpin. So Kingpin is very interested in deciphering the secrets of this tablet here. And so he has his aide here, who is Wilson, and he's given the Kingpin all the information he needs to know and where to find this clay tablet. And this clay tablet just so happens to be at ESU, the same college that Peter Parker goes to. And so we're going to see just how the Kingpin is going to get his hands on this clay tablet as we continue the story here. But before we get to that, we see that the Kingpin is going to demonstrate once again his brute strength. And a lot of people, when they come up against the Kingpin, they think of him as a fat bum. He looks like he's pudgy and stuff, but all of that big mass of weight is actually muscle. And we see right here just how powerful the Kingpin is, as we've seen in other issues like issue 60, and also how he made his first appearance in issue number 50. We saw just how powerful the Kingpin was at that time, and we see that the Kingpin here takes down 6 men without, breaking a sweat here. And so we see once again that the Kingpin is unstoppable. He's very strong, and he fires all of these people. All these people were hired to give him a workout. And so he says, "You're out of here. I didn't even break a sweat. You're a bunch of losers. I can't stomach you." And so these guys are leaving the premises here, and he alerts Wilson here to tell him that he wants twice as many people for the next competition. And so one thing that caused Kingpin to just go into full rage was the mention of Spider-Man. And the Kingpin cannot stand Spider-Man, as Spider-Man has been thwarting his plans in the past. And so now we're going to see what's up with our favorite web slinger here as he's swinging across the city. He tells how he did not get any photos of his last battle with the Mysterio, as we saw that he defeated Mysterio last issue. And he comes to his apartment here that he's sharing with Harry Osborn. We also know that Harry Osborn is in search of his father, and we also know that Harry's father, Norman Osborn, has reverted back to the Green Goblin as his memory has started to come back. But we'll look into more of that later on in future issues. So we now see that Peter Parker is going to go back to ESU, and this is where he's going to come across Joe Robertson's son, Randy Robertson, as we saw he made his first appearance last issue. And we just knew that sooner or later, Peter Parker and Randy Robertson would both meet each other. We also are introduced to Randy Robertson's friend here, Josh. And Josh is very skeptical about the establishment. At this time, as you know, in the late 60s, there were a lot of riots, a lot of protest going on at this time, especially towards the Vietnam War. And so it's pretty cool how Stan Lee added this, you know, common theme that was going on during the late 60s into this storyline here. And so a lot of racism was also going on at that time as well. And so we see just how Josh here does not really support the establishment. He thinks that especially the African American race was being oppressed at that time. So a lot of great history, a lot of great themes are going on in this issue, a lot of historical themes going on in this issue. We also see that the relationship between Gwen Stacy and Peter Parker are going really strong here, as we see that they are truly in love with each other. Now back to also the reason why there is a protest going on. We come to find out here that the exhibition hall is being pretty much used as a private dorm for visiting alumni students. And we see here that Josh and Randy are not in support of that. And Peter Parker also does not like that idea as well, as students should be using the exhibition hall, that X hall, for their own purposes here. And so now we come to the Daily Bugle here. We're going to see what Joe Robertson and J. Jonah Jameson are up to. We notice that, again, the cynical J. Jonah Jameson is still upset that he didn't get any coverage or any photos of Mysterio and Spider-Man's battle. And we see that Joe Robertson's thoughts are on other matters, as we come to find out that he keeps thinking about his son and that his son is not confiding in him. We also see here that Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy visit Peter Parker's aunt here. We come to see that Aunt May comes to find out that both Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy are truly in love with each other, and she is so happy that her nephew is doing so well and is so happy. But we also find out here that Aunt May is suffering from another illness here, and we don't know exactly what her illness is, but we'll come to find out in later issues. Now let's return to ESU. We see that the protest is going on, and that we see Josh and Randy want Peter Parker to join in on the protest, but Peter Parker is still skeptical. He wants to find out both sides of the story, why the dean of the college is not allowing this to happen. But we come to find out that the main reason is that we have police security guards here protecting the clay tablet that is so priceless, and it's actually in the exhibition hall. And so that's one of the reasons why the dean is not wanting to use the exhibition hall for current students who are on campus. So then we see here that we just have a mass protest, and they're planning to storm the exhibition hall here. And then the news is being covered here on the news here, and we see Joe Robertson's son is involved, so he's going to rush to ESU campus here. We also see that other eyes are watching this as well, Kingpin being one of them, and so he has his master plan here as he's going to raid the area unannounced. And so here we go, we're going to get into a lot of the main action here as we see that the car of Kingpin arrives. And here we go, we see that the Kingpin is going to use a gas mask here for his future plan here, this well-schemed plan. We see again the brute strength of the Kingpin breaks into the area here, tears the hinges off of that door with just brute strength. We see that Peter Parker realizes that the Kingpin has now come on campus, and he's searching for that clay tablet. He pushes Peter Parker aside, but he also notices that there's something about that Peter Parker that strikes him. There's an aura about him, and as we know, Peter Parker is Spider-Man. We see that Randy Robertson is going to try to get involved, try to stop the Kingpin. And this is when Peter Parker decides that it's best to change to Spider-Man. So he changes to Spider-Man. He's going to try to stop the Kingpin in his tracks. We see that the Kingpin comes to the clay tablet to steal it, and he uses this gas. And that's exactly what's going to cause the guards to collapse on the ground. But we see Spider-Man is going to do his best to stop the Kingpin. Here we go to some great action scenes here, drawn by Jim Mooney again. Just awesome stuff. Awesome stuff by John Romita as well. And once again, just I'll let you see some of these awesome action scenes here. And so we see here that Kingpin uses his cane here to blast Spider-Man off from the wall, and that wall crumbles and buries both Spider-Man and Randy Robertson. We see that Kingpin gets away with the stolen tablet here, and the tablet is now in possession of the Kingpin. And as the Kingpin gets away, Spider-Man notices that Randy Robertson and his friend Josh and a couple of other people are being arrested as they are thought to be in league with the Kingpin, and they're going to go to court. And we see that Joe Robertson is very worried about his son's fate. What's all going to happen next issue? We see that now Spider-Man is caught in the crosshairs here as he knows that Randy Robertson's son is being framed as guilty for being in league with the Kingpin, and we also now know that the Kingpin has his hands on that stolen clay tablet. What will Kingpin do with that stolen tablet? Will he be able to decipher the secrets from that clay tablet? What's so important about the clay tablet to begin with? We'll find all this out as we look at issue number 69, next issue. I hope to see you next time. And until next time, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.